Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. It's Friday, so it's time to talk about the games I'm playing this past week. This is actually the first episode of this series for 2024, so we're starting a brand new year with some more gaming. One of my biggest goals for this year as well is to play more games in my collection, and so I'm already starting off the year right. I've got two games to share with you guys today. They're both for the Xbox One/Xbox Series X, which I have been putting a lot of time into my Xbox Series X. I've owned the console for almost a year. I think my brother gave it to me in either February or March. He gifted it to me, and I have put a lot of time into it, which I will be doing a little recap of my gaming from last year and talking about all the hours I put in, because I did my year in review for Xbox, and it really surprised me with how many hours I put in. But I've been putting a lot of time into the Xbox Series X, and I love having the console. It's my favorite modern console to have in my collection, and I just absolutely love all the games that I've played and experienced on it and beat over the past year. And this year we started off with some really awesome games. I'll share my thoughts on them, my opinions, whether I think you guys should play them or not. Of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts as well. Let me know if you played any of the games that I shared with you today. Maybe there's something you liked about them. Maybe there's something you didn't really enjoy about them. I'd love to hear about the games you guys are playing, as that gives me ideas and new games to play and experience. And if you guys have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. And the second game here was actually recommended by a good friend here, Chance, who's called Pick Your Battles While Collecting here on YouTube. He recommended this game, picked it up, and I've been having a lot of fun, so that's really awesome. So let's get started here with the first title. This is a game that I absolutely love. I played and beat it on the PlayStation 4, but I was so excited when I heard they were going to finally port it to the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles, and I got a severely limited print run, and that is a game called Stray, which is the Indie Game of the Year awards for 2022. Now, my copy is still sealed, and I'm leave it that way. I actually rented this from GameFly this year, played through, beat it, and I sent it back, but I wanted to keep my copy sealed, as I had bought it as just a way to help support the devs who made a fantastic game. Now, there's a few exceptions. Normally I don't leave my game sealed, but this is one of those special games that I wanted to just leave sealed, because I absolutely loved it, had a blast with it, love this game, highly recommend it. Now, this is completely sold out with the two retailers. It was only available through Amazon, no, not Amazon, GameStop and Target. That's right, it was through GameStop and Target were the exclusive retail suppliers of this, and I pre-ordered my copy as soon as I found out you could pre-order it. And I'm glad I did, because they sold out in just a couple weeks. It's crazy how fast it sold out. Now, GameFly has copies that you can rent. However, you can't keep them. They won't allow you to keep them. Normally, you can keep the title after you play them. They have that. However, they must have got so much limited copies that they're not letting anybody buy it right now. So I just rented it, beat it, and sent it back to them. But I had a lot of fun. Now, in this game, you play as this cute little orange stray cat. And he lives above this walled city, which is called Walled City 99. And it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where the world has been destroyed and humans fled to these big, giant, massive cities that are covered in giant dome that covers them up, and they have different levels to the city and stuff. And this is where humans fled to get away from the end of the world. And since it said it was Walled City 99, I'm sure there must have been other walled cities as well, but they don't explain any of that stuff to you. Well, you're this little stray cat, and you live with 3 other stray cats above the city, and you're going about your life doing your normal cat things, and you guys are jumping through pipes, and your cat ends up slipping and falling down into the city, and now he has to get out of the city. He eventually encounters this AI in the game, and it directs you where you need to go, and eventually this little girl gets put into a little robot called B12, and he helps you to get out of the city, because he wants to open up the city to bring in the sun and light back to the city like it used to be before it got closed off. And you don't run into any humans. You find out that something happened to humans and nobody knows what's going on with them, but you do run into these little robots that are called companion robots, and they have decided to take on like the personality of humans. They hug each other, they form families, They can get upset and have emotions and stuff, and they start acting more like humans. They start wearing clothes and stuff, and with B12 you're able to communicate with them, and then they tell you that humans used to live there, and they call them the soft ones, but they don't know what happened to them. So as you play through the game, you learn more about the humans that used to occupy the city, and you're trying to figure out what happened to them, and with the robots, and trying to escape from the city to get reunited with your cat family. And along the way, there's puzzles for you to solve. There's also these enemies, these bacterial creatures called Zerks, which they look cute, make little cute noises, but they are absolutely deadly little creatures, little blobs of legs. They can jump onto your cat, and they'll kill anything organic, but they also destroy the robots and machines, as they want to kill and eat them as well. And they infest most of the city except for the little areas that you're able to go to where the robots live, and so you do eventually have to battle with them. And so it has a great little story. You can beat this game in just a few hours. I beat it in a little under 7 hours, and that was with me doing everything through a little collectible guide, getting the collectibles, because there are memories for you to find for B12 to remember stuff about the city and the past and everything. There's also little collectible badges for you to get, and different achievements and things for you to unlock. And I went through and pretty much unlocked everything in that 7 hours. Now, there is an achievement. You can beat this game in under 2 hours, but that is if you absolutely know what you're doing and you just speed run through the game. I highly recommend just playing through the game the first time and enjoy it, absorb the story, and solve the puzzles on your own without any help. It feels much more satisfying figuring out the puzzles on your own. So let's check out Stray for the Xbox One and Xbox Series X. Hey guys, we're looking at Stray. Now this is the Xbox One and Xbox Series version that just released last year. This used to be a timed exclusive for the PlayStation 4, but finally a year later in 2023, they finally released it for the Xbox consoles. Now I played and beat this on the PlayStation 4, and I really enjoyed my time with it. And once I heard that they were going to release it for the Xbox, I definitely knew I needed to get a copy of it, and I'm really glad that I did, because this had a very, very small print run. It was only sold at GameStop and Target, and both of them sold out real quickly, just a few weeks, and they were sold out. Gamefly does have copies available to rent, but they do not let you keep them, so they must have got very limited quantities for that as well. Have your basic settings in here, your gameplay. You can adjust reticle and stuff like that, the audio, controls, and then a little bit of the graphics and stuff. Has fantastic music as well. Really awesome game. So you play as this orange stray cat. He doesn't have a name or anything, but he lives with 3 other cats, and you have a little cat family, and you guys actually live above this city that humans created as a doomsday bunker, basically, like, you know, some end of the world event happened, and so humans were forced to live underground in these cities. And this one is a big giant city that has a giant dome over it that the humans built to get away from the end of the world stuff, and they did create these companion robots to live with them. Now, your cat accidentally falls into the city and now has to try to find his way out to reunite with his family. And he ends up discovering these robots that live down here who tell you that humans, which they call the soft ones, left or disappeared, and you have to figure out how to get out of this city, and you learn a little bit about the history of it from the robots who live there, which the robots actually start mimicking human behavior, which is interesting. I've been playing the game for almost 4 hours, and I'm currently in the sewers chapter, which there's 12 chapters total, so I'm currently on chapter, I'm on chapter 8 of the 12, which is pretty cool. So let's check it out. And I love the little loading, makes the cat purring sound, which is pretty cool. So here's one of the robot companions I was telling you guys about, and they have these cool little screens on their face, and They can show emotions and stuff. Like if you rub on some of them, their face will turn to a heart, and some of them will want to pet you. This one is named Momo, and I've been helping him to escape from the lower part of the city up to the upper part, and we're going through the sewers. I don't see any way to open this gate. Can you take a look on the other side? Now, obviously, since I'm a cat, I can't communicate with the robots, but I found this little robot, B12, and he helps you on the journey, and he actually gave you a backpack that he stays in when you're not using him. And he translates and communicates to the robots for you, which is pretty cool. You can also ask him, you can also check your inventory when you have collectibles and stuff like that to turn in for missions. And then you also can keep track of memories, because B12 doesn't really remember much about himself, but as you play through the story and you find these different memories of his, he starts remembering what happened to him in the past and stuff, and gives you insight into why this city is the way it is. So it's pretty cool. And then if you can also ask him if you get lost what we need to do. So if we want to get those other folks, we need to get through the sewers. Times like these, I'm happy I have no sense of smell. Yeah, because this is a sewer, so I'm sure this just disgustingly stinks. You can turn on a flashlight too to see, because it can get pretty dark down here at times. And everything you control the cat with is with little prompts with the A button. And there are puzzles for you to solve as well. Like I got to figure out how to get this gate open for Momo so we can continue through. But you also have to watch out for these enemies called the Zerk, which are creatures which consume metal, but they also consume organic life. And since I'm an organic kitty, they want to kill you. So you have to watch out, which there's some Zerk eggs down there. So we got to figure out a way to get the gate open. And if you guys see over there, you can see that there's a switch, but there's Zerk eggs blocking it, so we have to be quick about this. Oh, another thing too that's really cool is you can actually make the kitty meow by hitting the B button, which is pretty cool. Alrighty, so let's run over here, get the Zerk. Okay, we just gotta watch out because they'll try to latch onto you. If they get on you, you gotta shake them off with B. And if they stay on you too long, you'll actually die. So, whew, get away from those little bastards. You do have as you play through the game, you do eventually get this UV weapon, because they do not like sunlight or UV light because it actually kills them. That's their weakness. But since they're down here in the city, there are no UV lights, so that they're able to be safe, and they've multiplied and spread all over the city, making a majority of it uninhabitable for the robots. You can see there's a whole bunch up there as well. It's just a fun little story game, being able to play as a cat. Really interesting game. I beat it once, and on the PS4, really loved it, and I definitely knew that I wanted to play and beat it again here for the Xbox. I do have a little collectible guide website that I've been using to make sure I don't miss anything. One of the nice things, though, if you miss anything, you can always reload an old checkpoint and get any of the collectibles that you missed in that chapter. There's 12 chapters total, and there's collectibles in each one of them. So you can always go back and get those. This old machinery is broken now. I think we can only open it manually. Jump below the door. It won't hold for long. I can't hold on. I can't go with. I can't. Geez, sorry guys. I can't go on with you, but I won't stop looking for a way to get. When you find Zalbazar and Clementine, tell them I was brave. Oh, now we have to leave poor Momo behind. And all this nastiness you see, the Zerks are what created it, so really gross. So now we're really careful not to get caught by any of these Zerk creatures. So I just wanted to give you guys a little idea of how the game plays. I don't want to ruin this story for you because, again, this is another one of those story-focused games that you play through, but it's pretty cool. You get to play as a little cat, and you get to interact with these robots, and you get to discover some of the story about what happened to the humans that built this city, and try to get reunited with your cat family. Definitely, you guys should check out Stray. You can get it on PlayStation 4, you can get it on the PlayStation 5, the PC, any of the Xbox consoles. Definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of cats and you like a cool little simple story game that you can beat in just, you know, like a 3 to 6 hour time period, depending on how thorough you are and how good you are with solving puzzles and stuff. Definitely, you guys should check out Stray. Alright, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Stray. I had a lot of fun with it. I beat it again, so it was really good going through it a second time. I will someday again go through it down the road if I find a cheap, used, open copy, but I do gotta warn you that if you're trying to get a physical copy of this for Xbox, watch out. The copies on eBay are already at 50 to 100 and 120 bucks or more, because people know that this got a really small print run, so this is definitely one of the smallest print runs I've ever seen for the Xbox One and Series X consoles. Just absolutely crazy with how small the print run is. But definitely you guys should check it out. Of course, you can get this on PS4, PS5, or the PC as well. Fantastic story. I definitely you guys should check out. It's really good. And the next one here is a recommendation from Chance from Pick Your Battles Collecting. And this looked really awesome, and it's a game called Under the Waves. It's an Xbox One, Xbox Series console. You play as this guy, Stan, who works and lives underwater for this company. And some big traumatic event happens to him in his past, and it's led him to coming here to just get away from the world and everything and his problems. And you get to go through and explore underwater, which he has an air tank, and so he's able to has scuba gear, and he's able to go through and explore. But you also get to go in a little submarine, and you get to go through a story. It plays really nice. It's a third-person action adventure game. It reminds me a lot of Above a Steel Sky, or is it Beyond a Steel Sky? I played on Xbox One a couple years ago. I really love that game, and this game reminded me a lot of that. It has that cel-shaded graphics and just really fun gameplay. So let's check out Under the Waves. Hey friends, today I'm playing a game called Under the Waves. Now this is a cool story, narrative-driven adventure title that takes place completely underwater, which is a very unique setting for a video game. You play as Stanley, who is a deep-sea diver. A very traumatic event happens in his life, and so he decides to take a job for this company called Unitrench and work for their facility, which is completely underwater, as he wants to be able to escape from the trauma of his past. And while you're down here, his past starts to come back, and he has to deal with the grief and loss from that. Now this game has phenomenal music. As you can hear, the title music is really good, but as you play through the game, there are different music and stuff that'll play through for the different scenes and moods of the game and stuff. It's got great voice acting. Now the graphics aren't the best in the world, but the game is just fun to play, and it plays a lot like Beyond a Steel Sky. If you guys have played that game, I had played that a couple years ago and beat it. Really enjoyed it. That was a really fun story narrative driven game, and this game plays just like it. Have a decent little choice here for different options, controls, graphics. You can change, adjust your language and audio and settings and stuff. So let's check it out. You also can choose your own little decal for the different savings. Now this does only just do one save file for you, and it has a progressive save where it'll keep saving. So it's just like the Beyond a Steel Sky, you know, where you don't have multiple saves and can't go back and load older save files if you do something wrong. You know, you have to stick with your consequences. I've been playing for about 55 minutes. Just wanted to give you guys a little idea of how the game plays here. And the game is broke up to different days, are basically like your different chapters in the story. So that's Stanley, who you play as.
What was that? First day down here and bad dreams already.
So it's kind of got cel-shaded graphics similar to the Beyond the Steel Sky.
Thank you very much for that, Tim.
And so you can go around and interact with different objects and stuff, which is pretty cool, and he'll talk.
Tempting, but no. How many people lived in here before me? Who were they? Wonder if I knew any of them.
And then so certain areas you can do different things, like it'll tell you what buttons to do, so I can like change the view and stuff. You can stand up and get out of that. So it's pretty cool having different things. Got a great menu system here, which you get to see your map. Now, the only thing that's a little difficult with this map is you don't see where your character is on the map. So it's just as if in real life, if you had a map, you know, you wouldn't see yourself on the map. So you have to realize visually like where you're at, you know, where it tells me, you know, where my computer is, the shower is, the toilet, that kind of thing. But it won't tell you specifically where you're on the map. But at least this way you can know, like, oh, I need to go down here. You'll have to figure out how to get there based on knowing the maps and stuff. So you got that. You have where you keep track of your missions, because you have main missions to do. You also have routine missions, photo missions, and then it keeps track of all the completed missions you've done there. You have your inventory system, which you have different things you can find because there are resource stuff you can craft. Since this is a game that takes place underwater, you do have scuba gear and a tank, and you do have to have oxygen for that tank, and you can run out, so you do have to get oxygen and refill, stuff like that. There are other resources. There's crafting blueprints that you can find to craft stuff, upgrades. There's collectibles in the game to find as well, stickers, music tapes, decorations, photo filters, and then here is a logbook of different things you can find, audio stuff, things like that, which is pretty cool. Even some photo and one of the little things that I found, and so you have all that stuff.
Those cars. What is wrong with you? can't you, Jess? Let it go. This'll come in handy. Should anything untoward happen.
Good morning, Stanley. It is 7:32 a.m. on Tuesday, the 27th of March. I hope you have a productive day.
Is there any coffee on this wreck?
Checking. Yes, 10 kilograms of Happy Morning instant coffee remaining.
Great.
And what's cool is you have this little robotic buddy called Mercury here who will talk to you and give you advice on stuff and is basically a companion for you. And again, he reminds me a lot of the robot that was in Above a Steel Sky. And the voice sounds similar, so it might even be the same voice actor, which is pretty cool. So it's telling me where to go to get coffee. There's also a TV you can watch as well.
Longer even than the southern Great Escarpment are the Andes, situated in the heart of South America and stretching for more than 7,000 kilometers. These majestic mountains are one of the wonders of the world.
The surface feels so far away down here. Wellington.
There he is.
And you can even
How
change
was
the
first
view
night?
here while you're talking too, which is kind of
It
cool.
was good. Yeah. If the whole giant oil conglomerate thing doesn't work out, Unitrench has a bright future in mattresses.
Only the best for our chosen few. Now, ready to start the day?
Raring.
Right then. Head on over to the job board to your right there. We'll post up the daily tasks each morning.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. See you out there.
So that's where you get your missions and stuff for the days.
Alright. It seems easy enough, relatively speaking.
So it gave me different missions.
Hello, user Stanley Moray.
Oop, I don't want to go that way. So now I'm out in the water, so you guys can see the cool stuff you can interact. The very first day of this game is actually a tutorial level, and so it'll teach you how to play the game.
You never get used to the plunge. Mike seems to be working.
Was it not?
Salt water's the toughest test bed in nature. Everything breaks down here. Just a question of time.
Well, there's the view at least.
Said you wanted to get away. Nowhere more away than this.
You also can go in this little submarine that you have, which is pretty cool.
Serene. I could lose myself in that blue.
Wonderful. Just keep your head on. Don't get lost.
And if you use the right bumper button, you can actually bring up your sonar map, and you can go see where you have to go. Which is pretty neat. And so over here is the mission to do to find the leak. And you can see how big the map is, and it's an open world, so you can go and do stuff when you want to, and then follow along, obviously, the story as well. And then you can always check on the missions you have. But there are collectibles and stuff for you to find out and about in the world as well, which is really cool down
You're
here.
finding things a bit different from harbor diving.
No, yeah, it's good. Last time was, nice. But this feels like the real deal.
That it is. Nothing quite like it.
Back when you started, must have been different.
You'd hardly recognize it.
Definitely a leak here, Tim. Got something pouring out of a pipe.
Yep, confirmed on our end. Runoff from the refinery. Horrible stuff.
Okay.
Not to worry. Follow the pipe there until you reach the flow control. That should stop it.
Roger.
The company's been pushing the system pretty hard of late. With a bit more demand. Manufacturing, consumer demand, wars, that sort of thing.
And there's different things that you can find about
small
collect
ones,
as
you
well.
know, popping up every now and again. Keep an eye out.
That's about damn time.
Oops, I accidentally used the oxygen thing, but you can pick up the used oxygen sticks that you can find as well. But this area doesn't look like it's going to let me get down there because you want to get the plastic and clean up. But there is areas where you can make your character like land down on the ground, and then you can walk around and interact with stuff as well, which is pretty cool. But just wanted to give you guys a little look here at this. That's definitely one I think you guys should check out if you're a fan of story-driven narrative adventure games, and you like games like Above a Steel Sky. I think you'll enjoy this game. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying my time with it so far, and I can't wait to explore the story and see what happens, because that's what the whole thing about this game is playing the story and finding out what happened to Stanley and what happens to him now, because there actually is two different endings to the game. So definitely you guys should check out Under the Waves. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed that look at Under the Waves. I've just got a little over a couple hours in the game. The game is broke up into different days, and each day is basically like a chapter, and there's so much stuff that you're able to accomplish. You got your main missions to do, and you have little side missions you can do. There's little collectibles and stuff, and it's got a really good story. I'm really liking the voice acting in the game. I like the cel-shaded graphics. The music is absolutely phenomenal, especially that opening track for the title screen. Just got a lot of great music to it. It is a heavily focused story game, so I won't go into any detail about the story because I want you to experience that for yourself. But this is definitely another one of those games that got a pretty small print run. I got this on GameFly for a really good deal. They had that Christmas sale going on. I think I got it for like, I don't remember, it's like maybe 12 or 13 bucks. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to complete it. This game's really fun. Definitely one I recommend. You can also get it on PlayStation 4 as well. This is another one of those games, if you want to get it physically, I recommend getting it now rather than waiting too long, because it's going to be hard to get. As, you know, this modern day now, 2024, you know, we just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller print runs to eventually we're not going to get any. It's going to be all digital. So if you want to pick up a copy, I recommend getting it now. Quick little recap, you know, we talked about Stray, another one, super small print run, really awesome. You play as a little stray cat. Here, I'll read you guys from the back. It says, lost, alone, and separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery to escape a long-forgotten cyber city and find their way home. And then, of course, we talked about Under the Waves, where you get to play as Stan, who's a deep-sea diver, and you get to solve puzzles. It's a third-person action-adventure story, narrative-driven game, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys played Stray, or if you got a chance to play Under the Waves yet. I'd love to know about the games you guys are currently playing, and if you have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see ya next time.